Mi nombre es Johnny Juarez Guerra. I've listened to mariachi all my life. Only recently, I've noticed all women mariachi groups setting trends in this genre.
Just too good to be true.
Things are changing. Women are moving the male-dominated genre forward and breaking stereotypes.
I wanna hold you so much.
Keeping it traditional with the touch of modern. When mariachi fans think of this traditional genre, it's easy to think of Vicente Fernandez. His iconic, powerful voice is usually backed by an all-male mariachi group. His vocal and emotional delivery lend to a machismo idea of what it is to be a Mexican man, a trend that has been carried by the genre for many years. San Antonio's mariachi Guerrera Quetzali says, women carrying on traditional mariachi has not been seen with a kind eye by patriarchal beliefs and gender stereotypes. But they believe their talent will inspire future generations of women to challenge these ideas. Latin Grammy winners Flor de Toloache are getting through stereotypes that exist in this genre. They sing in English, they wear pants, and not every member is Mexican or of Mexican ancestry. In San Antonio, Texas, lives a 19-year-old Latina named Sofia Munoz. In her senior year at St. Mary's University, she is starting a mariachi group at the school. Despite the pressure, her confidence is high. The time I have known her, I have noticed she embraces challenges with an enthusiasm that I've never seen in a person. I know she is confident and ambitious. I wish to discover if she's aware of the struggles Latinas have in music, and if she sees herself as a Latina with a leadership role.
I am Sofia Munoz. I am 19 years old, and I am a student at St. Mary's University. I am a senior there. I'm in my senior year. I'm studying psychology, and I plan on graduating in May of 22, so next coming May. I'm an inspiring singer-songwriter, and I love music. I love listening to and expressing myself through music. Won't you come on over,
My name is Samuel Guerra, and I play drums for Shaka and Annie. She talks about starting a mariachi group at St. Mary's a lot, and she's really passionate about it.
Understand me, hold you tight, 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 tight. Let's just kiss and say goodbye.
Hello, my name is Priscilla Munoz, and I'm the bassist for Shock and Annie. Sophie is the most driven person I know. She has so much drive and she'll get anything she wants just because she's so passionate about it. I think that's really going to help her bring the community at St. Mary's together for the mariachi that she's going to come up with. So yes, drive is really going to help her and she's going to accomplish it no matter what.
Recently founded the St. Mary's Mariachi. It is the first mariachi on campus. So that was an amazing opportunity for me and everybody who was with me on that. And we recently got that approved. So it's great news. And one of the scholarships offered was the music scholarship at St. Mary's. So I was not planning on majoring or minoring in music at all at St. Mary's, but I applied for a music scholarship anyways just to see. I actually just went in as a vocalist. I didn't take a guitar or a piano or anything like that. I just went in there and sang. I actually sang a mariachi song. And the director of bands there, Dr. Matthew Mireles, was like, wow, you know, what are you planning on doing here? And he started asking me questions. And I told him, that I'd really be interested in joining the mariachi. I thought there was a mariachi on campus already. And he was like, well, we don't have one. So sorry about that. But if you want to start one, you can. I was already intrigued. I was like, okay, how do I do this? And he was like, well, first become a student and we'll talk then. So, I ended up going to St. Mary's. And the first year, due to COVID, everything was just set back. So it was the last thing on my mind to start the mariachi the way Dr. Mireles had first asked me to. But nearing the end of my first year at St. Mary's, which was last year, I decided, it'd be great to start that mariachi because I knew that I would be graduating in that May of 2022. So I was like, yeah, I might as well just go ahead and start it. So I got with some students, and a lot of students were very, iffy. They're like, I don't know if I want to do this, because it wasn't something that was established at all. But I actually got a lot of students who were incoming freshmen. So students who were really wanting to be part of the mariachi because they were in high school, the same way I was when I first entered St. Mary's. So those are the students that really helped a lot. I've instilled the foundation in these incoming freshmen, so they have the next 3 years to go ahead and continue the foundation in mariachi. So that was kind of my strategy behind that, just recruiting incoming freshmen. So that pressure is on because, we've definitely made a name for ourselves already, telling everybody about it and getting the music department to recruit more students. So with all of that happening and the whole school knowing now about the mariachi program, there is a lot of pressure to keep the program going.
When will I be loved?
Definitely have to say my top inspiration would be Linda Ronstadt. Growing up, my dad would always show me music from Linda Ronstadt. I love the mariachi music, being a Latina, but something that I never really thought I'd be doing mariachi later in life. So growing up as a child, as a little girl, my dad would always show me her music, and we loved Linda Ronstadt for her rock and roll music. Until later on, we realized that she's a Latina and she loves doing mariachi music, and that's kind of what that's the kind of side of her I like more now. So Linda Ronstadt would be my number one inspiration.
Linda Ronstadt's Canciones de Mi Padre is the biggest selling non-English album in U.S. history. She was criticized. Rolling Stone magazine was one of her biggest critics. The reviews were misogynistic and racist.
Son unos ojos tan primorosos.
Ronstadt's experience is one many Latinas face.
Más lindos no he visto yo.
It wasn't always like that for Latina women. Gender equality existed in Aztec society.
Oui, ton Nancy.
Women were equal to men. They held a place of power. If they succeeded, the society succeeded. Women were in charge of their household altars and religious ceremonies. That made them in charge of music. The Spaniards ended that after the conquest. Women lost their equality. Women lost their leadership role in music. If their families allowed it, a wealthy woman could study music. The other option was to become a nun. Since men, not even priests, were allowed in the nunneries, and music was needed for mass, nuns were allowed to study music. Sor Juana Inés de la Cruz, a genius, prodigy, and a nun who pushed back against the patriarchal system. In the following movie clip, we can see nunneries were like prisons in a machismo culture.
Dios no creó a la mujer para filosofar.
¿Dónde está escrito eso? ¿Qué revelación particular habéis tenido, ilustrísima, que os autorice a excluir a las mujeres del conocimiento?
¡Basta! No he venido aquí a escuchar las impertinencias de una pobre bastarda.
¿Qué decís?
Que Dios tenga piedad de vos.
¡Esperad! ¡No os vayáis! Las mujeres somos distintas, es cierto. Tenemos otro olor, otra forma. Oled y admitidlo. Oled. Somos el diablo para vos, ¿verdad? Admitidlo de una vez. El diablo lo lleváis en el corazón.
I was not aware of any of that. I find that extremely surprising that, at first women were, in charge of that. And then later on, they had to, become a nun to do that, to express their music, express themselves through music. And I always think back on ancestry and just think about how amazing our ancestors were to get us to where we are now, evolved into what we do now, and how blessed we are to have that understanding in the culture.
Women were not allowed to travel freely in Mexico, and most were not allowed in bars. Male musicians bounced from bar to bar and town to town, giving rise to mariachi music. Women did not play a role in its creation. They weren't allowed to. As a result, today mariachi is arguably one of the most patriarchal music genres.
Que yo sin ella de pena muero.
I was sort of aware of that. I actually was blessed to have a mariachi teacher, my first mariachi teacher. Her name was Vanessa Moreno. And she is now one of the leaders for Mariachi Las Latinas, which is one of the first all-female mariachis based here in San Antonio. So having Miss Moreno as a teacher, she was amazing. And in 6th grade, that was, the last thing on my mind, like I told you before, mariachi. But I decided, since I already knew how to play guitar, I'd go ahead and pick that up. And Ms. Moreno was great at explaining the culture and history. And so, having that background and knowing that information, walking into, today with creating a mariachi and being, a Latina, super important to me to understand that culture and that history and use it to fuel, the future.
Sofia discussed all-female mariachi groups being criticized by the machismo culture that exists in mariachi.
That definitely is, it's eye-opening for sure. It's not surprising whatsoever. You don't see it a lot, women, leading a mariachi group. But I think with current times and ever-changing times, I think, it's definitely possible to get that mindset, just throw it out the window, just continue to build for a better future with women. Starting at Mariachi St. Mary's is empowering for sure. Not only for me, but for everybody who's witnessing, this happening. It's opening the door up for many different opportunities. And I think the people who, we all started that mariachi together as founding members, it gives us, a sense of pride and a sense of respect for that culture and growing it and continuing it.
So what's going on tonight?
We're playing at Deco Pizzeria in Fredericksburg.
I can't because it won't reach my app.
Oh, okay. Setting up.
Is she like a bossy older sister?
Not bossy, really, but she knows what she's doing and she knows how to do it. So, I'm happy to, have someone who knows exactly what they're doing, so I know, where to learn from.
Growing up together, she's my sister, and I always trust her with everything.
In terms of leadership, talking about Shaka Nanny, I was telling my dad the other day, I'm so glad that I have members of Shaka Nanny who haven't quit on me yet, because I love expressing, the music that we're showing, and my sister is part of the band. She has no choice. Our closest friend, Sam, continuing with us, and he's dealt with so much from me. So I think I'm so blessed to be a leader of this band that hasn't, given up, and we all have that same end goal in mind, just to keep spreading our love for music.
She can inspire anybody. And not just, with a great speech or anything. She has this attitude, that she, knows what she can do and knows that she's really good at it, that can, fire you up and get you going. And yeah, just, being around her, makes everything feel a lot easier and a lot more fun.
That's awesome. Sam is inspiring, but, when it comes to music, as a band, we have to inspire each other to continue, playing the music and showing our love and expressing our interest for that music. And now that we are actually making music and writing out lyrics and stuff, I think it's super, super important that we are all inspiring each other. So that makes me feel awesome, because I trust Sam and I trust Stella to inspire me, and I hope that I'm doing the same thing for them.
It gives the message that little girls can really make an impact on the community and bring people together. And I think girl power is very important in our community today.
I don't think anybody should be surprised, and more so proud that something like that is happening and they get to see it, because it's, tons of fun for us, and, just hope to, make people proud by doing something a little different.
Everywhere else you go, you see, an all-male band, maybe a female singer standing there singing. That's great. And although, much respect, you don't see a lot of females actually being musicians and playing an instrument or playing a riff or still playing that bass real well. You don't see that a lot. So, when you hear those compliments, it's very refreshing. It's great to understand that, we're not only doing this for ourselves, we're not only serving ourselves and because we love it. It's also because, we're showing that, we are doing what we love to do. We're doing it, and we're females, and we're Latinas, and we're also musicians.
Find out what it means to be Mariachi.
So that was one of the biggest parts of starting the mariachi, was because I wanted to make sure people were aware of the different cultures, and the San Antonio culture is mariachi music. So I definitely had that in mind starting the mariachi. It's a newfound respect for people who see us, because just the same way little girls like me and my sister saw Selena when she did her thing. She was a huge breakthrough, and we haven't seen anything close since Selena. But that we want to inspire people, and anything that we can do to inspire young girls, young women who see us and want to be like us, that's great. There's no reason to push that back at all. We gotta continue doing that, because we are the reason why we're being talked about now, because we're just continuing to do it, and we're gonna need someone to do it when we get older. So absolutely, we love inspiring little girls, and we hope that we continue doing so. Just keep pushing for the stars, keep following your dreams.
Sofia leads her band, and she's founded A Mariachi. She plays an important music and cultural role in our Mexican American society. My role? I'd like to teach Mexican Americans their history and make them proud that they are brown. At the age of 48, I'm still trying to find that role. At the age of 19, Sofia has figured out what she wants to do, and she does it. Priscilla and Sam are right. She's trustworthy and inspiring. She inspires me to believe in myself and to be myself. She inspires. That's her role, and she does it well. Salud, Sofia. Salud, mi gente.